Hello, everyone. This is this is the video where I get into me as a my character, who is going to be that my character. Like I said in the last video, I'm the main character of this Zen versus the Universe project. Obviously, my name is Zen. You know that. So what's going to happen is I'm going to start with my inspirations, like what characters inspire my character, top five, and then I'll go into my origin story of where I'm wanting this to go, because as you know, this story is about me. Let's get into my inspirations. So my favorite superhero of all time is Beast from X-Men, because I always found Beast to be different from all the other X-Men because of his blueness, and blue is my favorite color. You can never go wrong with blue. I don't know why, it just always has, and it just always stuck with me. Maybe later we'll figure out why. But Beast was always, well, because being on the spectrum is a bit different, it makes us different and we stand out. Beast stands out to me for that reason. And he's just as smart and studious as I am. And he's just a big nerd. But it's on the inside, but it's on the inside, not the outside. And that's what I like about Beast. And he's like one of the biggest inspirations for my character. So I'll tell you my character's name at the end. I forgot to mention my character's name, but but let's continue with the other inspirations. One of my other favorite superheroes is Invincible. Actually, Invincible is my favorite. I think my favorite superhero TV show. I love and what I like about Invincible, the TV show in general, is because it takes all the superhero tropes that we know and love, and it doubles down on them. Kind of like how Shrek, earlier I mentioned in the other video, I mentioned how Shrek parodies them. Invincible doubles down on them and makes you not tired of them anymore. Like in Invincible case, you get tired of the Spider-Man trope. Like you see the teenage superhero. You see that we see that a lot. We see that in Spider-Man. We see that with like Ironheart, Kate, all these other superheroes, Teen Titans. Who else? Kate Bishop, King the Conqueror for a time even. Point is, Invincible. I really like that character because because I relate a lot to him. Like he's around the same. He's college age and he's just navigating through life. And here's another inspiration for my character, Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, a lot of you don't know this, but unless you're like a really diehard Sonic fan, but Sonic has like a really we autistic people have a really deep connection to us to Sonic. And I feel like that and I really feel like that's a really profound thing because he's fast, he's always energetic, he just loves freedom. I'm gonna look Mr. Fast and Mr. Fascinating does a whole video has a video about the deeper reason autistic people love Sonic. Look at his YouTube, and that like really resonated with me as a Sonic fan. It explains why I've always wanted to be Sonic, and with this project, I will have my chance. Now you know how important this one is. The new kid, when you if you have ever played the game, only there's only three good South Park. There's only two good South Park games. Snow Day was trash, but always playing as a new as the new as what they call the new kid. The new kid is one of the most important, I believe, is one of the most important characters in South Park because you're really immersing yourself as that character into the South Park world. They're giving, and it really just makes you feel included. And it really just heals your inner child and makes you feel included with the rest of the Coon and friends, the rest of Cartman and Kenny, and you're just playing the game with them. And Butters, one of the best things, like the first character you interact with when you play the new kid interacts with is Butters. The great thing is the new kid is you. You're that new kid, so I feel like that's important as well. Because I would be the new kid at this summer camp that I'm describing. I am new kid. So it's really me being those characters that I've always wanted to be. And of course there's one more character inspires my that inspires well there's it's the top there's more but there's top 5. Well, I was debating on which one I should put here. Should it be Donatello for my favorite Ninja Turtle or Shulk from Xenoblade Chronicles? And the reason I went with Shulk is because it's kind of more because for reasons I'll get more into. But I just really when he first, which funny story, a little anecdote. When Shulk got announced into Smash for Wii U, I'm also a Nintendo guy. I love Nintendo. So when Shulk, I've never heard of Xenoblade Chronicles up until that point. There have been some games like that Smash has introduced me to, but and this is one of them. Shulk, after hearing of Shulk, after being announced in Smash 4, I became I became I became really happy that there's a game called Xenoblade. And what really impressed me was the Monado, which is like the most important thing in this. I have since he got announced in Smash, have played the Xenoblade games, Xenoblade 1 and 2, but I just still have to play 3. I mean, I don't have the Xenoblade 2 game, but I know the story. I'm familiar with the stories, and I've played Xenoblade 1. I just haven't played 2 and 3. I really want to play 3. But I know the story. Like Shulk, I think Shulk looks really cool in the third one, especially. And I have high hopes that if Sakurai does make a Smash 6, that Noah is included. He will. He will. Now let me tell you what I did with all 5 of these characters and what do we mash them up to be. My character will become Panda Kid because a giant panda is my favorite animal. I just think they're cool animals. I can already hear the comparisons to Kung Fu Panda, but no, we're gonna try not to get sued by Universal. On a school field trip to the zoo, we are we are assigned partners to we are assigned partners to work on this school project on researching an animal. And then I go and then I'm partnered with Nathan Armstrong, which I'll do next. Nathan Armstrong's going to be the villain and the bully, which is actually I'm partnered up with my bully, and then the animal I'm assigned just so happens to be the giant panda. Of course, while I'm doing all the work, Nathan does nothing. All he wants to play is Call of Duty and Roadblocks and Fortnite. But I mean, I end up doing all the work, and then not only do I do all the work, I actually end up doing it in my own way, drawing a panda hero. So the Panda Kid is really a hero from my comic book that I drew in this world. I basically drew pet, so I draw it, and then it comes to life as me. He also his powers are anything a panda can, like brute brute strength, kind of like Beast is like agility. My superpower is being on the spectrum, but I also do have a weapon. Like I mentioned, even though Beast is the big guy in the X Men, his is agility. My superpower is being on the spectrum and everything a panda does. Pretty much everything a panda is known for. It's just me in a panda suit. But I do have a weapon that I'm still trying to figure out what that's called, but it's a bamboo bow staff. And it functions similar, and I'm still workshopping that, but it's functions similarly to the Monado in that it can also be used as a sword. So basically, it's a bamboo. I'm calling it right now until I come up with a better term. Maybe you can help me come up with a new. Maybe you can help me come up with a name for it. But a bamboo Monado. Maybe I'll ask Chat GPT what it'll be called. But that was my character, Panda Kid. The next one will be Nathan Armstrong.